If you're listening to this podcast, there's a good chance that you're a hunter or you just enjoy the great outdoors. If you value your ability to hunt, now is the time to step up. There have been countless efforts to vilify hunters and denounce the legitimacy of the science-based wildlife management model. There's no science to this stance, and it is solely emotionally charged. We don't want to see what happened with the grizzly hunt replay itself again with the remaining large carnivores or big game species. It's a slippery slope, folks. We need to stand together. Now is the time for hunters to be united across all organizations and show our combined support. Please go to wildsheepsociety.com/act now and follow the steps. It doesn't take much time and it will help save the future of hunting. This applies to residents and non-residents alike. Please, let's use our voice and be heard. On with the show, folks. This is episode 20 of the Wilderness Locals podcast. On this episode, Wacey and myself chat with Drew from Selway Archery. Selway manufactures premium bow quivers that will last a lifetime. This podcast is brought to you by Kafaru International, the toughest hunting gear on the planet, bar none. Frontiersman gear, high quality, completely custom, handmade knives made in the heart of the Peace Country. And as always, we're brought to you by Just Shooting Arrows, BC's premier archery shop.
How you doing, Drew?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Not bad, man. Not bad. How's the quiver business going?
Oh, dude. So we are so busy. Like,
it's a good thing.
Dude, it's so crazy. I never thought we'd be this busy ever, to be honest with you. But I'm not bitching.
That's awesome. So you guys bought it from the original owner, right?
Yeah. That's the original owner's like my dad's best buddy in the whole world.
Oh, okay. So you grew up around that business anyways then? Yeah.
I've been, well, so, they got the Western States Rendezvous. They got the longbow safari, all the, the big, trad shoots and like the expo shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to them. I learned how to ride a bike at one of them things.
Nice.
So I've been ingrained in this stuff for a long time.
Oh, that's nice. Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thing that you guys are busy, man. I'm kind of jealous. I'd love to do something like for a living, archery related would be badass.
Oh, dude, I like the first couple of years, I was working full time. My dad still works full time. And so did my stepmom, who does without her, we would be adrift. She keeps all the paperwork because my dad and I both suck at that kind of stuff. So the paperwork, all the shipping, all that stuff, she really keeps us going with that. But we all worked full-time gigs for the longest time. I'd say probably the first 4 years we had the company, I was working full-time as an iron worker.
Yeah.
And then, we got to the point where it's like, we all had to sit down and have a discussion. It's like, okay, if we want to try and maintain lead times, we got to figure something out here, because it was getting to the point where we were so backed up. But yeah, dude, I'm so blessed to be able to sit, kind of make my own schedule, go to the shop, bust ass, go hunting, put in some extra hours if I want to go, take a day and go hunting if the weather's good or whatever. And,
yeah. Get
the kids to school. That's one of the things I kind of overlooked, was how much more time I get to spend with my kids. That I didn't really think about a whole lot until we got into this position. And it's freaking awesome, dude. I'm counting my blessings for sure.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Sweet.
Running a business like that is one of those things that there's some major upsides if you do bust your ass, like you're saying, and get her done. You can fudge the schedule a bit and get into the woods a bit more, eh?
Oh yeah, I had some guys, some buddies of mine that they're not like trad guys or nothing, but guys I went to school with and stuff. How the hell do you find time to hunt so much with all them damn kids? What they don't see is the hours I'm up till 2:00 in the morning getting orders put together so I can afford the time to go do other shit,
Yeah. Sounds like your wife's a badass though too, right?
Oh, dude, she's an absolute. She's awesome. She's a labor and delivery nurse.
Oh, right.
And just absolute stud. She's a badass. She runs a tight ship. If it wasn't for her, Like I'm one of those guys. Like I need the strong presence in my life.
Yeah.
Help keep me on course. Otherwise, I'd be probably more irresponsible than I'd like to admit.
I'm in the exact same boat. I always say we would never have a house or anything if it wasn't for my wife. And my wife's the same. Just like an absolute badass.
I'd be living in a fridge box. For sure. Hey man, I seen that Papa Selway, he got it done on a big bull this year. Hey, that was in Idaho.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, well, I like to say Colorado, but
well, that's gangster, man. He's been at it a long time, eh?
Oh, dude, I think he started hunting in 95. I think he started going out west and hunting with Gordy. And, I like to say that, the old man is he's a really good elk hunter. He just not very good at killing them. And like we sat down one day, and in 25 years of elk hunting, like legitimately, he should have had, if a couple things change, the wind holds out for, an extra 30 seconds, or the bull takes one more step, he holds the mud together and doesn't miss. Bow hunting, right? Yeah. And if bow hunting doesn't happen, he probably has at least 12 bulls on the wall. So, he's really good at getting on them and calling them in and, getting into them. He just had a hell of a good time, or a hell of a time trying to get an arrow into one. And, it all came together this year. And for me to be able to be there and call it in for him, because it's kind of like elk hunting for us. It's been something that we've always dreamed. Like, it's always been something that we've always, he's been hunting elk for shit. I was 7-8 years old when he first went out, started going out. And, so it's been a big part of our lives for the longest time. And I grew up watching Larry D. Jones, Elk Fever, with White Shoe. And I'd say, I'm actually fortunate enough to own the bow that Larry had, that he hunted with in that video.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
it's a 66-inch Brackenberry. He signed it for me and everything. So yeah, I little caveat there. But yeah, and then to be able to call that bull in for him, after all, the kind of a life's work of accumulation of, leading up to that moment, dude. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't shed a tear, because it was one of those just absolutely epic freaking moments. And the call in, everything about it was just unbelievable.
That's sweet. Yeah. Awesome. I like that. Do you think for me, because one of my biggest problems is I have a hard time taking frontals and I run the right equipment to do it, but it just always in my head kind of screws with my mind. Did he get lots of frontal opportunities he never took? Or? Yeah.
Cause most of the time he hunted by himself. He had another guy that he hunted with for a long time, but they would split up. And most of the time when he was hunting with the other guy, he was calling. So most of the opportunities that he had, he was always solo. So yeah, he had a couple of situations where the bull comes in, and he, very much like you, he's got that mental block, right? You don't take that shot. And Gordy, the guy we purchased the business from and that Dad's been elk hunting with, he's a big proponent of it. He said it's one of his favorite shots to take.
If you could just get over that hurdle, man, right? Like it's such a mind screw with me. I just can't get over that hurdle for frontals for some reason. I don't know why.
Right. Well, that's, and it's funny. I don't know. What are you shooting arrow weight wise?
I'm 600 grains all in.
And poundage?
50-55 usually.
Oh yeah, dude. With the, as long, even with like a tree shark, like you're going to just.
Yeah. I passed a bull 2 years ago, man, like 6 feet frontal. I walked away from that just shaking my head like I just can't. For whatever reason, I just can't get frontals in my in my bag of tricks. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's it's fun. It's these blocks that we have in bow hunting. I for some reason don't suffer from them. I kind of got maybe a little bit of that Snyder, whatever he's got, I got. Like, I'm not afraid to send it.
Yeah.
If I don't have that, I don't really have that mental block of, I hate to say ethics because I feel if I'm confident enough to make the shot, like if I know the anatomy of the animal and all that stuff, I'm sending it.
Oh yeah. I'm usually a sender too, but it's not on frontals. Seems like.
Yeah.
So you said Papa Selway heads out west here, so that means you guys are back east. You're in Michigan, right?
Yep.
President of Michigan's Ted Nugent and Kid Rock or something, and
I wish. I hear you got the gay prince or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we got the Wicked Witch of the West running the state of Michigan right now. Like, yeah, dude, I would love the Nuge and Kid Rock to run the state. It'd be awesome.
What's growing up in Michigan like for a hunter? I mean,
dude, yeah, I mean, turkey, whitetail. I mean, more whitetail you can shake a stick at. You got, all kinds. You got bear hunting opportunities up in the state, up in the northern part of the state. It's sportsman's paradise. I take it for granted often, and especially with our fishing opportunities there. I mean, we have some of the best walleye and smallmouth fishing in the world. Right. I mean, 2 miles down the road, right on on Lake Erie. It's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible place to grow up. Being in the outdoors and tons of public land. I mean, I can't complain a single bit about growing up in Michigan and having an ample opportunity to go get after it.
Nice. Yeah. For us, we always hear about guys that live back east. All they're trying to do is get out here.
Well, I mean, yeah, and shoot, we do have elk in Michigan too, but I mean, it's like pulling teeth to get a tag.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah. We got small. I mean, it's about 800 to 1,000 head.
Oh, wow.
I don't know the exact number or the last count, but yeah, it's really tough to get a tag, and it's kind of a goat rope from the guys that I've talked to. They've gone and done the hunt. It's a little bit of it's weird. There's a couple of outfitters up there and their, guide services. And I don't know, from what I've heard, it's not quite what you would expect.
Is that a transplant herd or something?
Yeah. It's, I don't know where they even came from. Maybe Yellowstone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, they did put them up there in the 30s, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
Yeah.
I've never heard about that one at all. You always hear about that one transplant herd in Kentucky, and then kind of that's it.
Yeah. And then that herd in Kentucky is blowing up. They they're out there in Tennessee now, Virginia. They're talking about moving some of them up to Ohio.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing really, really well down there. I tell you what, man, I always fantasize about what it would have been like to be one of the settlers. The first settlers coming in, like what that would have been like from a wildlife standpoint. It would have been awesome.
Yeah. It's funny. Me and you are almost the same age, Drew, and actually Wacey too. We're all around the same age, but us guys growing up, we always hear about guys, 10 years earlier, 15 years earlier, and they're always talking about, back when I was a kid, and you're like, that's only 20 years. I can't imagine 100 years.
Right. Yeah, it's been insane. I kind of wish that I was like living in those times right now, but
Yeah, I think Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation's pretty much their plan is to get herds all across the eastern states. Is what I heard. Like they're doing it.
Dude, well, they're taking. I mean, I don't know if they're using the exact model what the National Wild Turkey Federation used, but I mean, you take it what the NWTF did, and I know that there's a little bit of corruption within the organization now, but I mean, in the 70s and 80s, and then up into the 90s, I mean, you use that model as a success story for getting, critters on the landscape. It's unbelievable. I mean, if they could do that with elk, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be super cool. I think you probably peaked, Wacey's interest there when you said turkey, because he's itching to go on a turkey hunt.
I've never even drawn on a turkey, so it's kind of, I got to get this up checked off the list here.
Only place he's seen turkeys in the grocery store.
Butterball, baby.
Dude, I may be weird, but like if somebody put a gun to my head and said, or somebody handed me, I don't know, a couple $1 million and said, you can only, here's $5 million cash. You can pick one animal to hunt the rest of your life. There's a lot of my buddies that are going to freak out right now when I say this, but I would probably pick turkeys. Mm. I'm ate up with turkey hunting. I've been doing it since I was going with my old man since I was 4. Like to me, it is my most favorite thing to do in the woods.
Nice.
That's awesome. There's in BC where I am, there's an opportunity for turkey, and Wacey's allowed to come out here as a Canadian resident or Canadian citizen and chase them with me. So we're talking about doing it in the spring here.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. And bow hunting them is like, if you spend the money and get the good decoys, if you're gonna bow hunt them.
Yeah, is that the trick?
Yeah. It's for me. That's those setup that I run. I mean, I don't say it's automatic, but they do when they lock in on that setup, man. It's more often than not they're coming in, and you could put those decoys at feet, like 2 feet, and they'll come to them.
Because my plan was to dress Wacey up like a turkey and just send him out there.
These dudes do that around here, man. They make these turkey decoys and whatnot, and they walk around behind them. I'm not really real big on it, but
like one of them bow mounted ones.
Yeah. It works too.
We've been talking about using those for a goat hunt that we're doing in August, but I guess we're gonna have to look into some turkey decoys, Wacey.
Yeah, as much as it pains me.
I'd tell you what, the ones that I would get, I'd look at the zinc decoys. I mean, they're a little bit pricey, but they're solid, man. They work.
That's very good.
Go back and then listen to a couple. Search out Kurt Cabrera on some podcasts. That dude, he's taught me a lot about bow hunting turkeys.
That's the turkey killer, huh?
He's a stud. He gets her done.
It's like it's all freaking Chinese to us. We know nothing about turkeys, but there's actually the episode that I just posted is by this dude Mark Hall. He has a podcast called The Hunter Conservationist, and he's like a hardcore southeastern BC turkey hunter, and he actually just came out with an online course, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy that and learn something about turkeys and maybe try to go arrow one.
It's a lot of fun. I've actually kind of sworn off bow hunting them. I've killed a few with my bow, and I actually prefer to hunt them with my shotgun. Not just like, it's just, you carry less crap to the woods. I don't carry my double bowl blind. I don't have to carry all my decoys, and they're hard body decoys. And so I like bow. I like shotgun hunting them. Yeah, personally, that's kind of what I grew up doing, and that's kind of to me, I think of turkey hunting is, you got your vest on, you're running and gunning the hills, and chasing gobbles, kind of like you would. Guys get pissed off when you make this comparison, but kind of like when you're chasing bugles.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that, man. Like a lot of guys seem to compare it to elk hunting, right?
Yeah, and I think there is a lot of comparisons to it, minus the fact turkeys can't smell you, but they can see and hear you really good. There is similarities to it for me. I know, but don't you dare walk into the Western Hunt Expo and say that. You get a bunch of pissed off Utards.
Well, I'm gonna hunt him with a 6.5 Creedmoor and try to shoot one at 1,000 yards then. So
there you go.
Man, how did you? I want to switch to quivers a little bit, baby Drew. How did you guys get into the bear quiver? Were you guys working with bear on that one or what?
Yeah. So that all come about. A good friend of ours, Chris Perino, absolute stud killer. I mean, he's kind of one of those guys nobody really knows a lot about, but he's an absolute killer. He's killed a ton of stuff. Brown bear, grizzly bear. I think he's trying to plan a polar bear hunt, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he gets after it. And he came to us one day at a show and kind of had this idea where he had taken an old spring arm, old bear spring arm, and mounted some of our parts to it. And it kind of started there, and he got hooked up with some people at Bear, and the ball kind of got rolling, and that's kind of how it all came about. It took a long time to get everything going, but we got some new color options and new logo options coming down the pike here. But yeah, it's, we wouldn't have done it without Chris, so I got to give him all the credit. We just kind of helped facilitate it with the part system.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think they look well. The green ones are pretty much what the originals are. Yeah, they're real similar. Yeah, they look sharp.
That's wicked. That's
yeah,
really...
and what's that?
Go ahead, sir.
Oh no, I just gonna say it's really cool to be, working with a company like Bear. It's been around forever. And being able to do this and provide this for the community. It's done really well. Been very well received. And, I think taking that kind of nostalgic hood and then mounting the Selway mounting system on it, it made a lot of sense, and guys really dig it.
Yeah. Nice. I like it. What plans you guys got for just spring, just turkey, or are you going to try and do some bear this year?
No, I'm going to be doing a lot of turkey hunting. I got my daughter and I she's going to have 3 tags. We're going to go out to Kansas, try and get her first bird out there. And so, yeah, it's going to be kind of all about getting the kids out this spring. That's going to be awesome. My big focus is making sure I'm not slacking on that end, because I find myself, like during the fall, I grew up on my dad's heels pretty much all the time. Like there was very rarely I didn't get to go. So I need to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence to make sure that I'm getting them out as much as possible as well. Like I had my upbringing.
Yeah, definitely. It's good. I seen some videos of turkeys in Kansas. There's a lot of turkeys in Kansas.
Yes, there is a lot. And, we got a really access to a bunch of ground out there, and we've had for quite a while, and we deer hunt out there as well. And, it's a really cool place. I love that. I definitely dig the Central Plains, and that's like where you're at in Alberta. Is that kind of like that same kind of rolling hill country, plains type stuff, or are you more in the?
Yeah, the southern version portions of Alberta is like that, and then you get more north, and it turns into heavy timber and mountains. So okay. I'm up near the mountains here. So
gotcha.
But there's lots of thunder chickens there in the south, but it's a 11 or 12 year draw here in Alberta to pull that tag to shoot a turkey. So
holy
I actually, to be honest, with point creep, I just kind of gave up on it. I'm not even it's not even on my radar anymore. I don't put in, but
no, I don't blame you, dude. That's gonna say though, if you guys ever get down here, obviously, like, you ain't traveling to the States to go hunt turkeys, but if some weird thing ever happened,
I don't know, man. Wacey's turning into a turkey guy. He calls me in the middle of the night and just and hangs up.
Oh man, that's funny.
But this year, I think we're gonna get out. We're gonna try it out a little bit in BC and see what we can shake out of a tree. Anyway.
Yeah. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. No, it's I tell you what, man, I know I catch a lot of flack from it from my buddies that are really big into Western hunting, but I made up with it. I love it, man. Just getting up in the morning, the birds start chirping, and you hear the world kind of waking up in the springtime. The birds are gobbling. It's a special time to be in the woods. That's for sure.
What bow have you been using, Drew?
So I shoot a Selway Little Mag, which basically is a Centaur glass model. So, and I've been shooting that bow. Gordy built that. It's one of the last bows that he built before he turned all of the business over to Jim Neves. And dude, it's kind of an extension of my arm. I've had that since 2004, 2003. And it's I've had a lot of bows in between now and then, and they all seem to go to the wayside. I'll play with other bows throughout the year, but come hunting season, I always gravitate back to that because it's that mental thing. Like, I don't trust myself with other bows because I've spent so much time in the field and had such luck with this one that it's tough for me to deviate from that. But yeah, it's 55 at 30. I shoot a 600 grain arrow. It was a 605 I shot at. They were 187. 500 grain arrow shoots 207. And I'm in between there on my arrow weights. I'm shooting about a 550 grain deep impact with 200 grains up front, shooting iron wills and then cutthroats.
Nice.
And yeah, dude, it's a really good setup. I got a long draw length, so that's where I'm getting a lot of that speed from.
You got orangutan arms like me.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because getting arrows to tune sucks.
Yep.
But yeah, I found a sweet spot with that bow, and like I'm kind of the mind of I'm like opposite the modern trad guy because I don't like switching. I don't like changing my setup. I like finding something that works and sticking with it.
Yeah.
I like to mess around too much for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not shooting wood arrows then? Eh?
No. If I was to shoot something other than the deep impacts, the microcarbons, I would probably shoot aluminums. I'm a sucker for like a 2216 with like 160 up front. It's a really good setup. I'm not opposed to shooting wood arrows, but I just, as hard as I am on shit, like I felt like, so that bow that I was telling you about, I mean, I fell out in Idaho a couple years ago and I broke the riser. Oof. Like it really broke in half. Took it to Jim Neves. He glued it back up or poured some glue in it, and it's shooting fine still. But like, I mean, I break shit all the time. Like, and I shoot it like 60, 70 yards all the time. And, I'm just hard on shit. So
yeah,
I don't see that. There's no sense in me getting into wood arrows when I can just waste a bunch of money on expensive carbons.
Yeah. That's like me and Ty too, man. We beat the hell out of our shit. So
yeah, I don't see any other way to do it, man. That's treating yourself gingerly. I don't get that, man. I gotta ride it hard and put it away wet.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's awesome. You like them tree sharks, eh?
My dad's really big on them. Yeah, I like the iron wills, to be honest with you, and the cutthroats. I've had such good luck with those S125 iron wills. Every animal I've shot with them has gone less than 40 yards. I mean, they in a ton of blood on the ground. Like but those are also, I mean, forward in the V or forward in the shoulder. So there's a lot of vascular, whatever this shit is. They call it the ranch fairy calls it the vital V. And I like shooting them forward up there in the shoulder. They don't run very far when you hit them there, but those broadheads have done really well. Super clean pass throughs. Broadheads stay, they're still fairly sharp after they go through the animal. I'm a big fan of them, and they fly good too. But I've shot a lot of animals What's up?
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say I've had good luck with the cutthroats. I've had good luck with the Valkyrie heads. But growing up, my dad just got nothing but tree sharks, and he's killed a bunch of stuff with them. A lot of blood on the ground, and they're forgiving head. And I say forgiving on shot placement, but I'm excited to try the wides.
Yeah, I got a handful of wides too. They're pretty good. I wouldn't plan on getting past with a stick bow 30, maybe 40 with those though. I would just keep her pretty. That's kind of a close up bear head or something. It puts a wicked hole and stuff.
Yeah, it looks it, man. That's it. But I'm actually, sorry. I'm of the mind, and maybe somebody can school me on this, but we're shooting less efficient setups, right?
Yep.
Let's just call it what it is. We're, hunting with the stick bows, you're shooting a less efficient setup. And I see the marketing on a lot of broadheads towards trad guys is this big giant hole or big giant cut head. Now, I've never been, never really subscribed to that train of thought. I've always liked maybe a little bit smaller profile head. Obviously one that's going to fly really forgiving, and also one that's going to kind of aid in penetration. I'm not really big on unless, you're shooting a bear or something. I get that, or turkeys, the bigger head, but it's just, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's nothing, I don't have a whole lot to quantify my thoughts on that other than it makes sense to me to shoot a smaller head.
Yeah, for sure. What were you going to say, Ty?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying that that I shot a bear with a wide, and I really like that head.
No, that was the vented one or the solid?
Vented. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's great though. They shoot really well. They group really well for me, and they don't really hit different than like the standard smaller cutting with head either. So yeah, no, they work really well for me.
Well, I heard Bill on a podcast. I think it was the one he did with Aaron, or just recently, where he talked about like the different values, the pressure values of what different heads that went through his testing medium, and the wide wasn't very much different than the other one. I mean, it was very, very small amount of difference. So I'm interested in trying them for sure, just on that merit alone.
Yeah. No, they for sure are excellent heads. I mean, we actually just had Bill on the podcast. I'll probably post it, I don't know, Thursday or something, but, man, he's one of those cats that just, he goes so deep and he's so thorough with his testing and his research and development that he does. Right.
Yeah. I mean, just based on hearing him talk, you can put a lot of confidence into hunting with his stuff for sure.
Yeah, and like his component systems. I mean, I'm not sure there's a better component system, is there?
I've shot all of them. The only one I haven't tried is the Ethics, but I've shot Valkyrie since before it was Valkyrie. And then I got I tried all the different micro setups. There's a couple of different ones, like, cause I like a glue-on broadhead, like the glue-on cutthroats. So if you go to a Boyer broadhead, Larry Hannafy, he's out of Michigan here. He makes a glue-in, glue-on pin system with a collar that you can use on the micro shafts. So I got that. Shot the Valkyries, and then I'm shooting on my micro shafts. I've been shooting since before Bill came out with this new Snyder system. Yeah. I was shooting his deep 6 insert, 100 grain deep 6 insert, for the micros, for the 166 shafts, with just this deep 6 ferrule and for the broadheads and stuff. And it's, with the collars, it's an awesome setup. Absolutely awesome. I've shot them all, and it is right there at the top.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, same boat. I did Valkyrie. I've done Ethics, and I kind of settled into the Iron Will. Just that using that hit system is really easy, and those collars are really durable. I mean, I was telling Bill on that podcast, like the only time I break arrows is if I get like funky arrow flight and have the arrow whip around and hit it mid shaft or something. Like I've pounded rocks head on. I've pounded trees, fence posts, whatever, anything you can hit head on, I've hit. And then, you don't get that, that arrow blowing up from the end, kind of that you do normally with like, without that collar and without that big heavy duty insert. Right.
Yeah, no, it's to me, it's just kind of an adaptation of what we all used to run on like the 204 system.
Yeah.
So I used to shoot Axis, and I would just take a 1916 or a 2016, cut about a 1 inch deal of that, and then 100 grain brass, and then just a regular, and then I've heard, I think it was Blake was talking about just taking and screwing that insert on your point or your broadhead or whatever, and then gluing it all in as one. I was doing that a long time ago. Not to I'm better than anybody, but yeah, we were doing that. We were doing that a long time ago, and it's an extension of that. It's actually a better system than that because it's on the smaller platform.
Yeah.
And after shooting a few animals with the micros, it's really hard to want to go back to anything bigger shaft wise, because they do freaking work really, really well, man. I've had since those good component systems came out for the micros, I see no real reason to shoot anything but them, to be honest with you. The benefits, if you can, maybe from a cost standpoint, that's why you wouldn't get into them, because you do have to get the component systems to go with them. But
yeah,
if money's no object, dude, there's no reason to not be shooting them.
I've kind of been debating going micro or going 204. I like an idiot, I just started building my normal stick bow kind of recipe out of a 204 Axis, got them all dialed in, and I'm shooting. I'm like, these are grouping weird, whatever. And then I started shooting bear shafts, and I was like, I'm way stiff. Like I kind of changed bows this season, and I'm a little lighter than I was. So now I'm building new arrows, and I've been going back and forth if I want to run the micro, or if I want to go to the 204, stay 204 and just break the spine down a little more.
Yeah, I don't know. If you don't mind spending the money, if you already got the arrows, build your shelf out or cut it back a little bit or do what you got to do to make those arrows work. But if you don't mind ditching them and getting into a new setup, I really am a big fan of the deep impact.
Yeah,
I like the deep impact, and then I either those, the VAPs, or I even like the Easton injections too.
Yeah, I've been looking at a couple Black Eagle shafts. One of them that I kind of been looking at is that Instinctor, but I think it's pretty heavy. It's hard to get that weight up front. It's like,
yeah, I've got some. I've not hunted with them. I've just played with them a little bit. They're just all they are is just a deep impact with the that fancy finish on there.
Oh yeah, but I think they're a heavier wall too, though, right?
They may. I always thought that. I guess maybe I was told some wrong information, but I always thought they were just a deep impact with that wood finish on there.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong though. So yeah, don't take me for what. Just call up Black Eagle and find out. But they're a solid arrow. If I was going to run that setup, I don't know what you like up front. I would keep it around 200 grains up front.
Yeah,
that's just my personal thoughts.
Yeah, the bow that I'm shooting right now seems to be tuning really well with 225 in the front of it, so that's probably where I'll stay.
Yeah, that's. I think that's kind of that magic that I don't know. I've done some testing and shooting into critters. I've had better luck getting good penetration with that 200 to 250 up front versus anything over that. Nice.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's my big issue. It's so fun to tinker, like it's hard to not jump between bows with how cool stick bows are, man.
Right. What are you shooting?
I was shooting a Tolkien whip, and our buddy Chatty there just stole it from me the other day because he's going hard down the trad rabbit hole right now. Like, got rid of his compound. He doesn't have a ton of interest in hunting with rifles this year, and he's kind of talking about going for it. And so he took my whip. So right now I'm shooting a Satori, but playing with the metal riser stuff, and it's pretty fun. But I think I'm probably going to get another bow on order with Jared here pretty quick.
Yeah, I got to get one of them. My cousin's got a 62-inch bull bolt whip that is just absolutely freaking top shelf. I love that bow. It's got the Pica grip too.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
that's a shooter.
Wacey's shooting a Chinook and he loves it.
Yeah, it's a little shorter than most guys for my draw. It's a 60-inch bow, but I talked to Dan and told him my draw, and he makes it work. that thing opens up nice.
I shot one of those. I think it's the Whistler when they first came out with that. Guy had one at a show. I think it was like 58. And I shot it. I'm like, there's no way, there's no reason the 58-inch bow should ever shoot this good for me. Yeah, they're just those guys. Jared and Dan are just, they're not only super good dudes, but they're hell of great craftsmen. I mean, they're probably building, I would say, probably the best bows in the market.
Very underrated Boyers.
Yes. Yeah.
I think if anybody actually held one of their bows and shot it, they would be getting on that train real quick.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, if I was not shooting what I have now, and basically, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my Centaurs. I now own another one. My dad's got takedown, triple carbon, dark matter, the whole nine, and it's awesome. But if I wasn't shooting a Centaur or a Selway, I would be shooting a whip, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I know they're wicked, and like you said, I mean, I don't know Dan, but I know Jared pretty well now, and he's just a nice dude. Like, that's one of those guys that, even if the bow is bad, I would want to run it because he's such a cool dude, right. But no, man, they do make just wicked bows. And the thing I find about Tolkien's is they're easy to shoot. Like, you just grab that thing and your hand goes where it's supposed to, and it kind of all comes together quickly, a lot more quickly than some of these other bows that I've messed around with.
Right. And I'll tell you what, there's a little secret that I don't hear anybody talking about from them. Is their tabs. They got this Sherpa tab.
Oh, really?
Wacey, I don't know if you tried one yet. They sell a Sherpa tab. It's awesome.
Yep, I've seen their tab. I've seen it. I haven't ordered one.
I'm gonna text Jared.
Yeah, you need to get one. Like I said, my cousin's got one, and like I got this old beater tab, and once again, for me, everything is mental. Like, I don't like changing anything, but when this thing finally does break down, I'm getting one because those things are absolutely just awesome.
Yeah. Jared's holding out on the tab goods. What the heck?
Tell him to ship a couple. When I was in the market, I was kind of doing what Chatty was doing there, just buying new bows steady, just always hunting for that one bow, right? I was going to order a Bob Lee, and this random guy, it actually ended up becoming friends with him on Instagram. He messaged me, and I was like, he's like, you got to try Tolkien. And I had heard of Tolkien, and I'm like, yeah, another backwoods Boyer, right? Whatever. And so I ended up just taking this guy's word on it. And frick, what a stroke of luck that was, because I'm in love with Tolkien now, and I don't think I'll ever pick up another bow.
Don't ever. You got a quick stick?
I do. I'm kind of retired. I developed a crack in the riser.
Okay.
So, yeah, I hung it up. Jack is a friend. Jack is a friend of mine, and he's getting up there in age, and he made that bow for me, and I'm just kind of wanted to hang it on the shelf. His bows are great too.
I don't blame you. Oh, dude, it's one of those bows that I've always kind of lusted after. Just never really thought that because I don't even think you can get one anymore, can you?
I think last time I talked to him, because Jack, I think he's getting closer to 90 now.
Right.
And so I phoned him a couple months ago, and he didn't want me to come over because of this COVID stuff. And
Right.
so I phoned him. I wanted to go over and just see him and maybe talk about getting another bow built. And he kind of told me that he wasn't going to be taking outside this country orders anymore.
Right.
But I don't know
Yeah,
for sure if he is or not. So don't take me for that.
No. Those things are nothing but phenomenal things about them.
Yeah, the quick stick's legendary in our part of the world. Well, all over. He sold a ton of bows to the States over the years. He made every one by hand and by himself, no one else.
Yeah, he's a legend. One of those guys that not many people talk or know about, but an absolute legend in the game.
He was great to work with. Because I got such a freaking bad draw, I ended up blowing up a set of limbs, and I went back and seen him. We made a little bit longer limbs, and we lengthened everything out, and that bow's been working good. But I just got a little bit of a hairline crack, and I just kind of figured it was time for me to hang her up.
Yeah, get nervous.
I don't want to. I just don't. Yeah, the bow means a lot. The bow means a lot to me. I just don't want to. I don't want to break it in half.
I don't blame you, brother.
Yeah, Wacey, you were going to try
really
to get
digging like with Tolkien.
Go ahead.
With Tolkien with that micarta, man. That micarta eyes are really liking that a lot.
Yeah, that stuff is super. I can't speak to like putting it in my own hands and getting the tar out of them, but I've heard nothing. I don't think I've ever heard of one breaking.
They're wicked. Go ahead, Ty. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, you were talking about trying to get Jack on the podcast here to tell some stories and stuff like that.
I am. Yeah, I am. I'm just kind of waiting for his wife just passed here recently. And so I'm just leave him alone, I guess, but I'll bug him here maybe later fall or something.
Yeah. No panic, but it sucks, man. Sucks. So what do you got? What do you got on the schedule for 2021 here, Drew, with Selway? You guys are probably chomping at the bit to make some stuff.
Yeah, no, we'll see what our overlords let us do here. If we can get to some shows or whatnot. I would love to get out to the Western States Rendezvous out in Lolo, Montana this year, but it's just with the way the spring's laying out for us, it's going to be tough to swing, but hopefully we get some shows to do this summer and then roll right into hunting season. Getting itchy about that. The old man's got an elk tag. Idaho changed up the way they're doing things this year, and I got hosed, wasn't able to get an elk or a deer tag for the area that we hunt.
Oh, really?
But the old man was, so he's got an elk tag. I'm going to try, and there's a special permit that I'm going to try and put in for there. But I got apps in Utah, Colorado apps are coming up, Montana. I'll be putting an app in there. Just trying to get some tags so we can get out west and get after it.
Nice. And what's you guys chase whitetail in Michigan there?
Yeah, the whitetail, and then I do a lot of hunting in Ohio as well because I'm real close to the border, and we got some really good bucks in Ohio, and I got some farms that are, within about an hour and a half drive of the house. So,
is Michigan and Ohio there? Is it mostly hunting off ag fields and stuff like that, like the stuff we see on TV? Yeah, it is what you think it is. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that CRP stuff, that overgrown, grassy stuff. That's kind of what I always cling to, just because it kind of deters other people. People look, they're like, oh, there's no tree there, so I can't, the old, I think my buddy coined the term dicky mow. They can't hang a tree stand and, in their scrape tripper with their crossbow, so they they overlook it, right? So I like to stick to places like that, and we got a bunch of that stuff around, and it's always good. I mean, I'm on big deer every year. This year was kind of shitty, dude. I was hunting. I think there was 4 different bucks that I was chasing, and all 4 of them ended up getting killed. And I mean, all 130 or better bucks.
Nice.
And they all ended up getting. Well, the only one of them survived, and he's a huge 8-point that my dad actually missed last year. He's probably a 50s to 60s 8-pointer.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a or 4-point. I don't know. How do you guys count him up there?
I don't know.
We call them four. I call them 4-pointers.
Okay, yeah. So he's a 4x4.
If he's a 4x4, I say 4-pointer. I don't know. You guys say 8-pointers.
Yeah. He's an 8. So he's browse a 3 up. But so he's an absolute stud of an 8. Wasn't able to get hooked up with him. I'm actually gonna it's supposed to be in the 60s all week this week, so gonna get out and try and find some sheds here. All the bucks I was chasing this year, except for him, all ended up getting plugged.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked, but it's we're on big deer. I have an opportunity just about every year, put an arrow in one.
I read somewhere that there was about 700,000 Michigan hunters. Is that right?
Dude, I don't know. Those numbers may be lower than, but at one point in time, I know that opening day of firearm season in Michigan was like the second or third largest was bigger than the second or third largest standing army in the world. Like it's insane.
The Michigan Orange Army is coming.
Oh, dude, it is ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Many people. But now, dude, I really don't want to get started on this bashing session here, but ever since the inception of the fucking crossbow in the state of Michigan, now that I'm not shitting you, dude, there's more pressure on some of this ground around where I hunt. There's more pressure opening day of bow season than there was opening day of firearm season. Isn't that that's about as backwards as it fucking gets?
Yeah, I mean, there's enough crossbow jokes to go around, I think. I don't know.
We don't need to beat that dead horse, but yeah, dude. I mean, it's but in the state of Michigan, they want deer killed, so it's kind of it's a moot argument. You ain't gonna win with nobody. The state's not gonna waver on that. The only other opportunity that I could see for changing things up that I kind of been a proponent of is doing a trad season, or something like take the month of September, since the opening day of bow season's October 1.
Yeah,
go through and do give us another month, because they're not gonna they want to kill deer, and they're not gonna change it. I mean, that shit, dude. There's more opportunity in the state of Michigan to hunt with a firearm than there is archery equipment.
Yeah, I mean, that's here in BC, archery season is 9 days long, and it's basically as long as it shoots an arrow, you're in good shape, and it can't have like an electronic sight here. But I mean, I'm kind of not really a proponent of removing any hunting opportunity at this point.
Right.
For us too, especially out west, like where I live, like I'm in southwestern BC, like a couple hours from the city, and it's a slippery slope out here, man. Like we get on the topic of like the grizzly bear ban and kind of coming fights that hunters are going to have here soon on a regular basis on this podcast. So people probably get tired of it, but no, I don't know. I hate to see stuff get removed from the regulations, because you out here anyways, if it's gone, you're not getting it back.
Right. No, Hunter, I mean, and it all depends, dude. For me, like the way I see it is it's all location dependent. Like you can't look through this with like a 10,000 overview blanket statements, because every place is going to be different. Like the crossbow argument.
Yeah.
First off, like back east of the Mississippi, the game managers want to kill deer. It's part of the gig, man. They have to kill deer, and they got to do it efficiently. So, I mean, that's an argument you're never going to win. So I don't know why guys try and continue to have it.
Yeah.
It doesn't get you anywhere. Now out west, dude, I'm all for trying to figure out ways to not necessarily, I mean, we're losing you say lose an opportunity. Yeah. You don't want to take it away. Well, opportunity is going away anyway. You have more guys applying for less tags every single year. So that as it sits now, we're losing opportunity. So we need to figure out ways to increase opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, whether that be short primitive, a true primitive weapon season, single string, bare bow season. Yeah, I think it's something that I'm a huge advocate for.
Yeah.
Why don't they just give you, like you said, give you guys that extra month. They give you the primitive guys the month of September. Because if it's not it's not a hunting month anyway for Michigan, might as well take advantage of it. Advantage of it. Kill an extra how many deer and then carry on in October. That's how it is. Right. Like in my part of the world in Alberta, it's archery season is September and October. Rifle season is 30 days. It's from November 1st to November 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, Tyler, I mean, there's a super important that we all kind of try and find some middle ground. I mean, they get beat to death, but dude, look at what's happening down here in the States. I mean, it's been a constant barrage since January of shitty legislation towards hunting.
Yeah.
And we like, guys are like, oh, the big tent theory. I ain't, a lot of these crusty ass trad guys that are like, oh, I'm not getting on the same team with that guy. It's like, well, you know what? Then go sit in the corner and be quiet because you ain't doing nothing but hurting the cause.
Yeah, no, that stuff. It doesn't make my blood quite boil, but it raises my temperature a couple degrees, man. Like. Like I said, I'm a big advocate of us having a united front when it comes to losing opportunity. And like you said, there's a lot of different ways that we can lose opportunity. But I mean, here in BC, at least, we're losing it. We're losing it over time, and we're losing it. I don't want to say because hunters aren't lining up the main goal. The main goal is to go hunting, right?
Right.
And the main goal is to follow that North American wildlife management model to keep the stuff on the landscape. And it's like means of take aside. Who gives a shit if you can hunt with a crossbow or if you can hunt with a rifle? If you can't go hunting at all, it won't matter.
Exactly.
And that's kind of go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I don't mean to interrupt you, but just it's something that I don't hear anybody ever freaking talking about is what's the one thing that the antis do well? They are an organized front. They are well funded. And they don't shut the fuck up.
That's the truth, man.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and if there's anything we can learn from them, it's that we cannot rest on our laurels. We have to be loud, and because the reason for being loud is our argument is the one that will win people over if we could get it across effectively and not be a bunch of hacks. Because our argument doesn't win out in the end. I mean, their argument for banning grizzly bear hunting. There's no science behind it. It's not a well-backed argument. There's no science behind putting wolves in Colorado. That's good, sound science,
Yeah, no.
It's or not killing predators and all this stuff. And I think there's a video just come out the other day. Some hacks put out a thing about anti-predator hunting, or it's like a predator derby or something. And it's like it's just a smear piece.
Yeah.
And I like you. This stuff pisses me off because I don't know anything different. Like I've talked with you guys before. I've been hunting since I came out of the womb. Like I don't know any different. And my way of life is under attack right now. And we got a bunch of people arguing over stupid shit that don't matter.
It's all.
And and I'm watching our lifestyle just start slowly slipping away. And it's I don't know. I take a lot of issue with it.
Yeah, man. And it turns into semantics too. Like none of the infighting matters. I recently took the bait on Facebook on a hunting page that I'm on here in BC. And the dude was all upset because another conservation organization here in BC had made another form for us to talk to our, local representatives. Here are their MLAs, right? That's kind of who your government contact is in your region here in BC. But this dude was all upset because this other conservation organization made another page to send the info into the government, like with this campaign that they're running. Like, how is that a bad thing, dude? Oh, well, they're riding the coattails of this other organization. It doesn't matter. More people will sign. The group that started it has 1,000 members. The group that jumped onto it has 45,000 members. Like, get your head out of your butt and let's do it. Like, let's, send the message, like, loud and clear. It's a united front. All hunters think this. Let's go. Let's manage it by science. Let's not infight about which organization sends your letter. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Right. Well, that's one of the big deals. I mean, the big things is we need to, regardless of how people feel. I mean, and there's a lot of hunters out there that have just straight up, I can call it what it is, anti-hunting leanings.
Yeah.
And that can't be accepted either. You can have those feelings, but if you truly give a shit about sound wildlife management, you got to ditch your feelings. And that's the problem. I mean, that's a world problem though. As we legislate and we manage and we do everything based on emotions now. And it's not just, sorry, I can't yell at the dog, but everything's based on emotion, and that's we gotta get away from that as much as possible. And that's why I feel like, hunters, if we could just present our argument in a really good way, and be loud about it. I mean, that's the thing. You can't lay back and just let things happen. You take a page out of the antis books. They don't shut up, and that's something that we should be doing the same.
No, you're entirely right, man. And I don't know. I've been banging that drum, loud and trying to send that message far and wide that everybody has to work together. And if we don't, we're going to lose some stuff again here. Right. So,
unfortunately.
Yeah, man. Wacey's probably getting tired of me talking conservation with people too.
I want to talk about killing shit.
Right. I'm and that's the other thing. Like, like Wacey said, I have, at the door, right? Like it is killing, and it's, like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, bow hunting, like, yeah, it's cool. We get to go do some cool shit. You get to go sit in the woods and, relax, and that's all fun and dandy. But what's the best part of bow hunting is, for me, that moment when you're bearing down, as you come to full draw and you're picking that spot right behind the shoulder, and you touch that shot off and you watch that arrow just melt right through, and the animal runs over and falls over dead in seconds. Like, that is the pinnacle. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
I love tenderloins on the barbecue.
Oh, dude, there's nothing better. Like, the day we got home from Idaho this year. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I drive by roadkill on the highway sometimes. I'm like, man, I wonder if some loins are good still. I might cut them fuckers out.
Oh, I'm straight up Yankee hillbilly, brother. Like, I am not afraid to pick up roadkill. Like, if I see it get freshly tagged, it's going home with me typically. Like, I've done it a whole bunch of times. I have no beef doing that. But yeah, dude, it's just like, when you're talking about eating them. You want to know what's primal? You come home. We came home from Idaho this year with that elk, and we immediately threw elk steaks on the grill as soon as we pulled in the driveway.
Oh yeah.
And I had my boys here, and they just went hard on that elk meat, and it's like, that's what it's. Yeah, I like killing stuff to eat it, and I like killing stuff because I like to kill stuff. Like, I like hunting, and I like to be objective for killing things. And I know there's a lot of people out there who don't want to hear that, but that's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah, man.
Well, I like it.
Me too. well, then, hey, that's a good note for us to wrap this on today, and we'll have to check back in with you. I think me and Wacey and Chad have some quivers to order off you, because I keep changing bows like an idiot. Yeah, man, we love what you're doing, and like the message you're sending, and no, it's always good to chat with you, Drew.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. And always fun to chat with my brothers from north of the border, eh?
Yeah.
I told Jeff, like, I was going to get on here, and the first thing I was going to say is, oh, how's she going, eh?
How's she going, eh?
How's she going, eh? There's a little backstory real quick. There's a radio station out of Windsor down here that we get because we're just south of Detroit, and that's the first thing they say on the radio all the time. It's like a radio talk show program. It's all, how's she going, eh? It's a good thing.
I'm really aware of my A's. I really try to squash that shit.
That's the way to be, man. Live it up, man.
Yeah, no, I embrace it. I just like being from the West Coast. I don't have as strong of a like Canadian thing going on as some of the guys back east. Like you get that what's that about? You hear that and what the
good shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure shooting the shit with you guys. And anytime you guys want to do it again.
Yeah, man. No, we will for sure. We'll check in with you mid-season and yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and follow us on Instagram @WildernessLocals or check out the gear at our website, www.wildernesslocals.net.